So in experiences, just anecdotally, what you've seen with the flashing yellow light, turn signals coming in, it sounds like 2014, that was started on 9th Street, expanded out to some more intersections. Have you seen, has the department seen more incidences of crashes at those intersections and what would be considered, you know, just normal intersection traffic?
Not really. There hasn't been a huge increase in terms of failing to yield on left turns. I think the cases we have had have been fairly dramatic and severe, so they're garnering some attention. The 2 crashes on the arterial specifically have been very serious injury and of course the fatality crash. But overall, relatively speaking, the incidences are low. Those flashing yellow arrows are actually known to prevent crashes on left turns. So I think, again, when you look at other standard yellow light violations or red light violations, the flashing yellow arrow violations or crashes have been, again, relatively low.
Okay, and so for people who may not know, not used to driving through those intersections, what should they do if they're trying to make a left turn and it is a flashing yellow arrow?
That's essentially like a yield sign. So you do not have the right of way. The oncoming traffic has a green light. They have the right of way. So err on the side of caution and assume that you don't have the right of way because you don't, and don't make that turn if it's unsafe to do so.
What we've heard most often, especially with people knowing that excuse me, the accident happened at an intersection with a flashing yellow light, so many people have expressed concern of the confusion that it causes. This is something relatively new for people our age, and people have said that had there been more information given out as to what these flashing yellow lights meant, it perhaps would have helped. I knew what to do on a flashing yellow light. I just made a bad decision about going when there was a semi approaching, and the rest is history.
Not only are the older people having trouble or had trouble with the flashing yellow lights, but young people too, just all ages of it. They weren't aware of what they meant, and I don't think that we had enough information put out to us.
Like, it isn't going to happen, of course, but I'd like to see the flashing yellow lights go away, and I'd like to see the solid green turn arrow allowing a left-hand turn. You're sure, there's no question about that. When you see the green arrow, you know the oncoming traffic is stopped. So you go ahead. With the flashing yellow lights, you have to make a decision. Well, I made a bad decision, and I went through when I shouldn't have. But as I say, it isn't going to happen because this is a step up to help speed traffic along. Sad to say, the number of accidents that have occurred because of this and the injuries and things, but I'd like to see that happen, but I won't hold my breath until it happens.
Also, I'd like to see that same thing, the green lights come back, and especially out here on the arterial where there are so many people coming from Dubuque, from Asbury. We're going to have more accidents and more fatal accidents, so we need to do something now before it becomes a death trap for anyone crossing.